about that. Also, I need to be right back. Alright. We'll drink our tea, or medicine, I mean. You wrap both hands around the cup, the porcelain feeling pleasantly warm against your skin. Close up, the scent of lavender and honey is stronger. Catch the underlying smell of windflower and that little something else. It's familiar, but you can't place why right now. Casimir watches you quietly from the chair, observing, waiting. You do this often? You stare at people while they drink. Throwing jabs at them. No privacy whatsoever. He exhales through his nose, his smile growing, quietly glad he understood that you were joking. Shall I turn around and wait for you to finish? It's a tempting offer. You both stare at one another, grinning, seeing who breaks first. His ears give a small twitch. Your lips press together, trying to suppress a laugh. Alas, you were the first to break contact, hiding your smile behind your free hand with a snicker. Casimir's eyes twinkle with triumph. Okay. Carefully, you lift your cup to your lips, gently blowing onto it to cool it down. From a peripheral, you see Casimir visibly relaxing, not dramatically, but to where the tension in his shoulder eases. It's probably fine. You take a sip. It's surprisingly good. Sweet, a little earthy, but comforting. He certainly knew how to make good medicine if you can't even taste it. Take another sip, then another. Before you realize it, half the cup is gone. For a few moments, nothing happens. Then suddenly, the pressure behind your eyes eases. The itching sensation vanishes from your skin. You blink once, twice. The room doesn't feel so painfully bright anymore. Huh? Your fingers touch your temple. I think it's actually working. He arches a single brow, his smile unwavering. I should certainly hope so. Now it's your turn to arc a brow. You sip the last of the tea, observing his posture, not rigid, but his tone. You sound offended. His expression shifts into something perfectly serious, though his eyes shimmer with a playful impish. I spent quite some time perfecting the blend so you don't taste the medicine. You're offended? His ears give a twitch, perking up and swiveling in your direction. Perhaps a little. A laugh escapes you before you can stop it. Casimir joins you, laughing behind his hand. The constant ache in your body since waking up dulls considerably. Even your thoughts feel less entangled. Not really fixed, just less overwhelming. At this point, you'll take whatever you can get. Placing the empty cup on the tray, you lean back on the bed, heaving a sigh. Okay, maybe you were right. Casimir hums, not saying anything, but you can tell from his tone that he's feeling quite victorious. A dangerous thing to admit, Petal. Don't get used to it. It comes out before you can stop yourself, but you can't help it. The headache was bugging you the entire time. Now that you feel better, you're feeling much braver to speak openly. Not to mention, you had the feeling he liked your candidness, sometimes. You glance at him, seeing a smile bigger than before. His ears give a small wiggle. Too late. Your chest feels a hint warmer. That same warmth rises to your cheeks. Casimir stands from his chair, gesturing to you. How does your head feel now, Petal? You don't answer immediately, taking a moment to stare at the ceiling and assess. With the headache, while the headache isn't completely gone, it's significantly better than before. Still there, but not nearly as bad as when I woke up. He nods. Relief washes over his face. Good. You set up and snack on one of the honey cakes while he looks out the stained glass window. The colors dance across your bed, the floor, and along the ends of his robe. You follow his gaze to peer out, looking at the glass building. Greenhouse? It's made up of stained glass as well. The work even more intricate than the windows in your room. Would you like to see the garden? You look up at him, mouth full of honey cakes. Garden? You've always been fond of it. Always. There's that word again. A word that feels comforting and settling every time he says it. Maybe going to the garden might help jog your memory. Whether it be the whole garden itself, certain flower beds, or even sitting in the atmosphere, something has to trigger it. You get up, brushing the wrinkles off your clothes. Yes, if that's alright. Of course, why wouldn't it be? A force of habit to ask. Casimir extends his hand towards you. Come in, Petal. There's no hesitation in taking his hand. As if a part of you already knows what to do, you chose not to dwell on the thought too much, worried it will make your headache return with a vengeance. Casimir's hand practically engulfs your own. Something that most people would find alarming, but for you it feels comforting. He guides you with slow steps, conscious of his longer strides, and moves the curtains aside for you to step through first. To your immediate left is a spiral staircase, and to your right is the hallway leading to the building. Casimir takes you to the stairs. An unexpected thing, to be sure. You thought he'd have taken some other way to go downstairs. But the stairway is actually big enough for him. I wonder where we are if this is wide enough to accommodate his antlers. The hallway at the bottom of the stairs is nothing like you expected. Well, actually, you're not sure what you were expecting. Certainly not this. The corridor curves gently instead of running straight, forcing your gaze to follow its path rather than immediately seeing where it ends. Roots weave through stonework, like veils appearing into walls, only to emerge several feet later. They don't appear to be damaging the structure. If anything, the building looks like it had been built alongside them, maybe even around them. You pause briefly beside one particularly large root, running your fingers along it. The bark is smooth in some places and rough in others, old enough that tiny patches of moss have claimed sections of it. Sunlight spills through the enormous windows, framed by flowering vines, painting patches of gold across the floor. Dusty motes drift lazily through the beams, floating in the still air like tiny stars. Oh, I need to fix my camera. Do that. Some of the flowers winding around the stone are familiar to you. Lavender, foxglove, and morning glories, to name a few. The rest are entirely foreign. One blossom slowly unfurls as you pass, revealing petals so dark they almost appear blue. Another follows the movement of the sunlight with the slow turn of its stem. Stop walking when you notice movement, turning to face a bright sunset-colored flower that looks like a mix between a chrysanthemum and a poppy. The dogs are barking because someone left for a bit. Hey, Paul. No. What's going on? Someone's here. Because we think someone's here. Alright, I'm back. Get some dogs to stop barking. I brought them out of my room. Against their will to be in my room. Why are you whining? Why are you whining? Pebbles. Pebbles. No. Stop walking when you notice movement, turning to face a bright sunset-colored flower that looks like a mix. I already read that. Its flowers are leaning in all your direction. Casimir tilts his chin to you, Snow. Rather than answer him, you step to the side. Flower follows. Casimir? Yes? Flowers are watching me? Glances towards the plant, watching it as it moves to follow you when you take 3 steps to the left. Yes, that one does that. That's not reassuring. Casimir's laugh echoes through the hallway. He takes your hand again and continues to guide you. It is a harmless blossom, curious about you. It won't do anything to hurt you. You sure have a lot of plants. Oh, Snow, what an astute observation, truly groundbreaking. He laughs again, lightly squeezing your hand. So I've been told. By who? You, mostly. Right, of course. Ahead, sunlight pours through a pair of towering stained glass doors. Casimir opens them for you to step out first, then guides you down a dirt path. April. No one's here. It's not a long walk, but long enough for you to get your bearings. No one's here. No one's here. No one's here. Just April. 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 We're not doing this today. Here. April. You're not doing it today. We're not doing this. No. No. We get those spankings. 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 Oh no. Alright. Not far off is the greenhouse, or what you're assuming is a greenhouse. You've only heard of them. Buildings entirely made of glass are an extreme luxury. Only the highest nobles and churches used it. Fae, on the other hand, were a different story. You vaguely recall stories of Fae using dewdrops from freshly fallen rain to make their own version of glass. Whether or not that's true is something you can ask Casimir later. Taking a glance over your shoulder, you see intensive root work merging with stones and wooden beams. Are you whining at me? Pebbles. Pebbles. You whining at me. You whining at me. Alright. Love you. There's so much foliage that you can't tell what the building itself looks like. But you can see the window of your room up on the second floor. Approaching the greenhouse, Casimir opens the door. The moment you step in first, your breath catches. Ah, it's beautiful. The garden stretches farther than any you've ever seen. Rows of flowers bloom beneath the large glass ceiling several stories ahead. I'm sorry. You don't like it? Okay. Are you jealous? Are you jealous? You not like it? I'm pointing at you. Stop. No. 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 From your... Oh my god. Being a rat. So it's too hot in my room. I'm gonna wait for things to cool down. Goodness gracious, man. So my camera is not set up right. There we go. From your position, you see a large willow tree to the right, hovering over a fountain, the bee garden, and a section of rows of growing fruits. The air itself feels different in here. Warmer, softer, and most of all familiar. The smell of damp soil, fresh greenery, and flowers you can't name brings forth a wave of nostalgia. I came here often, didn't I? You did when you needed to clear your head. Or wish to check on the bees. Or when you wish to sneak nibbles of the moonberries. Moonberries, that sounded familiar. Hearing it makes your tongue tingle in a weird craving way. I have a sudden desire for a jam-covered toast. Does that make good jam? It makes delectable jam. What else is here? You take a moment to look around again, noting just how big this building is. The specific area you're in is just one section of a greenhouse. Just how big is this place? Big enough to grow plenty of food and maintain a balanced ecosystem. You mean maintain a balanced ecosystem when your bees aren't getting attacked by school moths? Yeah, yes, of course. Hold on there, Petal. I need to sneeze. God damn. It's pretty amazing. Hi. Alright. You look towards the willow tree, large enough to comfortably fit your entire childhood home beneath its branches. Ma would kill for a building like this for her herbs. How did you manage this? Glass is expensive, isn't it? Not for a Fae who has connections. And you have connections? Plenty. Sure. Ah, Snow, you wouldn't be so quick with the lack of faith. You know, when you're very vague with me, you know, that makes me suspicious that you don't have connections. And you're just trying to be mysterious. I barely know you. A tragedy I intend to remedy. The answer comes so quickly you aren't entirely certain he realizes how strange it sounds. Then again, perhaps he does. Casimir continues down the path to an easy pace, one hand resting his back, the other near you. The ground sprawls around you in every direction. You carefully step over an irrigation system you only just notice covered by blooming lily pads. You try to take everything in at once. You felt spectacularly. Every time your eyes settle on one thing, 3 more catch your attention. What the hell is going on with me? No, why I need to sneeze so much. The flash of movement near the Barrett house, tucked among the willow tree branches. Rows of vegetables growing further ahead. A collection of gardening tools hanging neatly from a nearby wall. You're doing that again. What thing? Attempting to look at everything simultaneously. There's a lot to look at. Then perhaps we should take our time. See whatever catches your eye first, Petal. Alright. Another inspecting thing, or I have to... Okay, I can use my map. I can use my arrow keys. I guess there's 3 things only. I'm gonna do this one. A vase sits atop a stone pedestal near the pond. It's a beautiful thing. Not despite the damage, but because of it. The hairline fractures spread across its surface make you think of rivers on a map. Each crack is filled with something that looks like gold. But a closer inspection proves that it's in fact warmer and plenty deeper. The material gleams gently in the sunlight. Tiny strands of glass seem suspended beneath the surface, akin to roots trapped inside glass. You lean closer, carefully tracing a crack with your thumb. What's this? Casimir crouches with you. Even in this position, he's still much bigger than you. Sunroot amber. That answers answered absolutely nothing. It is a type of resin harvested from specific trees within the Fey realm. Trees can make metal? I was like, why? I was wondering why this kind of plant kind of looks like the plants from Lorax. Was it Lorax that I'm thinking about? Or may I think about another thing? I don't know. Trees can make metal. Trees can make many things snow. Somehow, that's even a worse explanation. You point accusingly at him. You were doing that thing. Oh, explaining things? No, making it sound like you explained something. But it does explain, does it not? Badly, maybe. How'd it break anyway? You broke it. Wait, what? Dropped it. His answer came quicker than it should. Like, he had this conversation before, probably several times. You look at the vase again. After a moment, you see it. The cracks are old and carefully maintained. You kept it? Of course, silly petal. You were quite upset about it. A fragment flickers through your mind, porcelain shattering, a sharp gasp, and the awful sinking feeling of realizing you broke something expensive. So expensive, even, that you'd need to work until you died. And beyond just to recover the cost. You weren't angry? Why would I be? Porcelain is worth its weight in gold. Casimir. Or multiples, perhaps. Not for Faye, however. He stands up and you follow suit. It was only a vase. It was only a vase, okay? You were far more important. Right. You hear him chuckle behind you. There's no need to feel embarrassed now. I'm not embarrassed, liar. You were always a bad liar. You step away from the base, stealing one glance at it before turning back to the garden. I wonder what this is. Bees! 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 They're bees! Fat bees. Anyway, a low hum fills the air long before you reach them. You don't even need to look to know the sound. Several whole-filled logs sit behind a stone bench, framed by flower beds and surrounded by countless bees, drifting lazily between the blossoms. The sight feels immediately familiar. Not the highs, but the feeling. They seem to be doing better without that school moth harassing them. They are. You stop by Casimir at the edge of the flower beds. A few of the bees drift by, landing on some petals adorning Casimir's shoulders. Other resting in your hair. They remember you. Remember me? Oh, you spent quite some time defending them after all. A memory resurfaces. You running through the flowers, a handmade net clutched in your hands. Someone shouts behind you while you chase down a massive moth disappearing into the greenery. Your own voice. Get back here, you little thief! The memory vanishes, leaving you standing in stunned silence. Good to know that they're still okay. You lift your hand to your hair, guiding the bees out of your locks and into your palm. They're quite bigger than normal bees too, which is expected from bees raised by a fae. Their wings, when moving, shimmer iridescently in the sunlight. Their honey is almost ready for harvesting. Would you like to assist me in that when it is time? If you let me. Of course I would, Petal. If that's the case, then yes. I'm curious to why they're very fond of us. Very well, I shall tell you the moment they are ready. Guiding the bees back to their hives, you return to the rest of the garden. Now we have one more thing. This one. Rather than Google everything down to this last minute, you decide to explore. With how big this place is, I'm guessing I should have done left to right instead of right to left. It'd most likely take hours to look at every last thing. The garden seemed endless. Not literally, but probably not literally. But every path appears to curve into another. Every archway opens into another section of the greenhouse. So much bigger than it looked on the outside. I wonder if that's some kind of enchantment too. It's smaller from the outside. Most people say bigger from the inside, but whatever. Anyway, Casimir tends to a patch of flowers while you wander nearby. Please remain within sight, Snow. I would hate for you to wander at something you shouldn't when my back is turned. Are there dangerous things in here? Of course, plenty of plants from my home that defend the garden from intruders. They recognize me, but there's a chance they might not recognize you. It has been some time since you've been able to see the garden. After all, I'd rather not test the theory. Okay, I won't wander far. That puts me at ease, Petal. You stayed within about 10 feet of Casimir, ensuring he could see you while you observed the rows of vegetables, the patches of flowers, and the hanging lanterns that looked like they were grown rather than built. At one point, you find yourself crouched beside a cluster of flowers. That resembled tiny lanterns. Only to look up and realize Casimir had wandered 20 feet away, or perhaps you were the one who ended up wandering. It's hard to tell when you're too busy taking in as much as you can before Casimir ushers you back inside. You find him tending to a patch of herbs. One hand brushes carefully through the leaves as he hums some unfamiliar tune beneath his breath. You decide to leave him to it, keeping that within 10 to 20 feet distance, and decide to walk along the rows of beehives. You're trying to discern the types of flowers and the bees were pollinating when you notice movement from the corner of your eye. Oh, what's going on? A butterfly lands on your sleeve. Naturally, your attention shifts to it. The butterfly's wings are a deep sapphire, blue edged in silver. When it opens and closes them, the moths resemble stars. Oh, aren't you a pretty thing? Its wings flutter, as if understanding your compliment. Another butterfly lands beside it, then another, then another. First butterfly takes flight, and then 3 more immediately replace it. Oh my god, what the fuck is happening? Soon enough, they're everywhere. A cascade of colors surrounding you. Some are no larger than your thumb, some are nearly the size of your hand. You find one with wings like stained glass, a lot lights on your finger, while another you nearly mistook for a drifting flower petal settles in the strands of your hair. Can't help but laugh. For the first time all day, a genuine giddy feeling blossoms in your chest. You don't even realize you're grinning until you feel a subtle ache in your cheeks. Then another butterfly lands on your outstretched hand, then 2 more, then 4. What am I? You carries to the next flower patch? The butterflies seem wholeheartedly unconcerned by the remark. If anything, more arrive, circling lazily overhead while the others drift around you in wide loops. It feels dreamlike, as if you're stepping into a storybook. Then you notice it. The butterflies aren't flying about randomly. They're moving together. One by one, they drift towards a section of the greenhouse you barely paid attention to before. A wall covered entirely of flowering vines. A door hidden among the greenery. At least you think it's a door. The wood is completely obscured by twisting roots and ivy. Is that always there? Take a step towards the door. Something stirs uneasily in your chest. It's not fear, it's more like recognition. Like you walked this path before, though the last time you did, there are fewer vines covering the way. Pounding your head makes you stumble briefly. Shake it off and keep walking. Though the memory is out of your reach, the sight of the door feels important. The fireflies gather around the vines covering the door, waiting for you to take the final step. A hand climbs down onto your shoulder, then the world stops. Every muscle in your body locks. The butterflies scatter instantly. The silence feels deafening. Petal. Casimir's voice is soft. Exactly the same tone he's used all day, yet something about it sends chills down your spine. You hadn't heard him approach, no footsteps, no shifting of his clothes. Nothing. His hand remains. Not painfully or tight. Not painful or tight, but the kind of heavy that's impossible to ignore. What are you doing? Brilliant answer, truly. Let's see his face. Oh, I didn't even know that the weird petal things that they have eyes to them. Glance towards the vine-covered doorway, then look over your shoulder up to Casimir. You aren't entirely sure why you're suddenly nervous as a door. People look at them all the time. And yet, the moment his hand touched your shoulder, every instinct in your body screamed that you've been caught doing something you weren't supposed to. Which is ridiculous because you haven't. No. His voice is softer now, gentler. The one he's used all day. It should make you relax, but the tension stubbornly remains lodged between your shoulders. There was a door. Another ground-breaking observation. You point towards the patch of ivy and overgrowth, that one over there. He follows your gesture. For a moment, just a moment, something flickers across his face. Before he can identify, he just smiles. The usual smile he's carried the entire time since you woke up. Are the butterflies warning me about something? Like, go towards the door, escape, leave before it's too late. I don't know. His grip on your shoulder loosens slightly. Not yet, let it go. That. I was just looking. His gaze lingers on the vines rather than on you. The way his gaze moves about the vines hanging over the door, making you think he's trying to find something. I know. You don't know why the words makes your stomach twist. Maybe it's because they sound sincere, or maybe because they sound like he's reassuring himself rather than you. Casimir, what is it? For a moment he's silent. For a moment you think he won't answer. A door to the outside. Well, yeah, obviously, but that's not what I meant. Oh, you okay? Perfectly healthy. Not what I meant either. Look, you gently, carefully peel his hand from your shoulder. His grip tightens briefly, not painful, but not enough to stop you, but briefly enough for you to notice. His hand eventually falls to his side, vanishing under his absurdly long sleeve. It's just some door that obviously has been used in a while. What's with it? What was with? Make a vague gesture towards him. With all that. All of what? The reaction. Do you want to go out? No. I don't really feel a desire to. But how you react makes me think you don't want to leave. You don't want me to leave. Is there a reason you don't want me to leave? God, stretching. Wow. You don't immediately answer, turning back to the door. The butterflies that were there are gone. You take A second longer to glance at for any sight of them, but they're nowhere to be seen. Strange. Is the answer is no. Why are you gonna bother asking if you're gonna say no? Why? Because you're still recovering, Snow. You've only just wakened, nearly broken beneath the weight of not only remembering your name, and you're already trying to wander too far. I don't like this. I don't like how eerie you're being. I don't like how eerie you're being. How unsettling you're being. He takes a slow breath, his ears rising, lowering, then resting at their neutral position again. You had, admittedly, frightened me when you vanished from my sight. Horrid guilt blooms between your ribs like a thorn-covered vines. All too silently, it's become hard to look at him in the eye. You're finding the beehives far more interesting than me, his gaze. I wasn't going to leave, and even if I was, I wouldn't have gone without telling you. Of course. He clearly doesn't believe you. Casimir sighs, and the tension that had suddenly gripped the moment seems to have left him all at once. His shoulders relax, his ears lower slightly, and just like that, the strange, unsettling version disappears. Forgive me, pal. He's playing me off with his attitude. The apology catches you off guard, then his sudden appearance. For what? What? You've only just awakened. I would rather not see you come to harm while you're still recovering. Casimir, you stop. Clap your hands together and take a deep breath to gather your thoughts. This guy. Okay, first, why are you apologizing for being worried? I won't lie to you. It freaked me out a bit when you appeared out of nowhere behind me. But it's fine. I get why you're worried. I may feel okay now, but we don't know if something will trigger another episode like earlier. I don't have to apologize for caring, Casimir. Very well. Then I should apologize for frightening you. Seriously, your hoofs are normally hard to miss. How do you even sneak up on me like that? Many years of practice, perhaps. Or maybe you weren't aware of your surroundings. Hey, I'm perfectly aware of my surroundings sometimes. Sometimes. His laughter finally coaxes some of the tension from my shoulders. Not for me. I'm still a little bit tense. Someone here. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Super dog does. Alright, I'm back. I wanna remake some coffee. Hello, I am back. Got myself some more coffee. Not all of it, but enough to make the strange moment by the door begin to feel distant, or like a bad dream that's hard to recall when you're fully awake. I don't like how he was acting in that moment. Kind of put me off. Anyway, come. His voice settles back to its usual warmth, while his hand rests on your back, beginning to guide you away from the door. I think you've had enough excitement for one day. You say it like that, it sounds like a fragile thing. A moderately fragile little thing. Rude. The two of you begin walking towards the central pathways. You glance over your shoulder one last time. The door remains hidden beneath vines and flowers, silent, waiting. The butterflies never return. For some reason, that bothers you more than the door or Casimir's reaction, or even the strange memory that resurfaced when you approached it. You're not sure why, but you don't have time to think about it too deeply. Casimir has already led you out of the greenhouse. Thought occurs to you the minute you're outside. One that should have crossed your mind when you first woke up. Are we in the Fey realm? An innocent enough question. The surrounding flora and the sky outside makes you think you're in your mortal realm. You can never be too sure. For a moment, Casimir simply blinks. No, we're not. Huh? That catches you off guard. You expected this could have been a more tame area of the Fey realm. The greenhouse, the flowers, within its home, the fact it was actively watching you. Not to mention the bees being larger than normal. Oh, then, where are we? Home. Not a location. It is to me. Let me rephrase. We're in the mortal realm, right? Correct. Your steps slow. Another thought appears in your mind before you can stop. Can people still get mail out here? It's like, that's where your mind goes? Like, how do you order things and all this stuff? Or, like, send letters to, your family or things. For a brief moment, Casimir's steps stop. You almost think he stumbled, but he's too graceful to stumble of all things, Mel. You shrug, trying to ignore the sudden tightness in chest. Ma and Pa would be worried sick, I'd like to at least let them know I'm okay before I'm well enough to go see them. Oh, he's like, oh. It's like, is this confusing for him for us to think of Ma and Pa? Like, he nods slowly, his warm, gentle smile return exactly as before. Of course, I can fetch you some parchment and ink to write a letter. Weird moment for him to pause like that. For the first, the whole thing with the door, and now this. Probably just overthinking. They feel emotions in a stronger way humans do, anyway. A path curves up towards Casimir's home. Sunlight filtering warm and gold through the canopy overhead. Maybe I just need to eat something. I haven't had anything since I woke up. I'll write that letter to Ma and Pa. And then see if there's anything I can scrounge in the kitchen. Damn. Sorry. Alright. The walk back to your room is quieter than the trip to the garden. It's not uncomfortable, thankfully. It'd have a conniption or several if it was that kind of uncomfortable silence. This one is the kind that settles after a long day, when there's nothing else to be said. At least, nothing else that can be said, because Casimir won't answer certain questions. Would you like me to gather you something to eat? The mere mention of food makes you realize how hungry you are. Open your mouth to answer, but your stomach answers for you. Casimir stares at you while you stare at the ground, eyes wide and face turning a deep red. I'm safely assuming that answers your question. If you'd like to use your words instead of your stomach, you may. Nah, my stomach had plenty to say, apparently. He snickers again, nodding once. He moves to the doorway, shifting the curtains aside. Shall prepare something for you. I'll have to. I want to, silly petal. Write your letter, I'll be back. And what if I want to come with you to the kitchen? Then the flowers will guide you there. Oh, how considerate of them. They are very considerate towards you. He nods once, his visible eye lingering on you for a moment longer than necessary. It makes the heat rise to your cheeks and awkwardly shift weight from one foot to the other. I won't be long. He turns away and steps out of the room. With you alone, you take a moment to look around. The shelves, the paintings, the memories. Your fingers brush along the tree trunk within the room, and your gaze falls on your gloves again. What kind of condition makes it so I have to cover myself neck to toe? Push the thought aside with a sigh. Come on, Snow. Remember, one forget at a time. Sit down on the desk, gathering the parchment closer to you. As much as you want to figure things out immediately, you also know it's better not to rush it, one thing at a time. Rushing it will only make your head hurt more. You pick up the quill and gently dip it into the inkwell. You know how to write, that much is obvious. Your hand remembers the motions, even if your memories don't. The problem isn't the memory of how to write, it's what to write. What can you even say? Dear Ma and Pa. That part is easy. It's everything after. Stare at the page, tapping the quill against the edge of the inkwell. Play with the words in your head. Quill touches the parchment. I'm alright, are you? You stop, frowning at the paper. Are you alright? You don't know where you are, how long you've been gone, why you're here, or what happened. Sentence feels too dishonest, so you end up scratching it out to try again. The parchment looks worse for wear. Wonderful. Ma always said your letters looked like you fought the paper beforehand. You never understood how she could tell the difference between your normal handwriting and the disaster. Maybe it was a parent thing. Stare at the page for longer than necessary, then try again. I'm safe. Okay. Glass towards the doorway. The curtains are closed, but you can still imagine the staircase, the corridor beyond, and the garden. The doorway hidden beyond the vines. Continued to write. Met someone named Casimir. You pause, making a face at the sentence. It sounds strange. Like you introduce them to a stranger rather than a fae. The only person you currently know. I'm sorry if I've worried you. Words makes your chest ache. You imagine Ma in the clinic, Pa pretending not to worry while very obviously worrying. Miss Madigan marching to the nearby town to complain about this situation while secretly searching help. The thought makes you smile, though fades just as quickly. Realization settles in your stomach. How long have you been here? A week? A month? Longer? You don't know. You don't know. Slowly, you set the quill down. The letter remained unfinished. All it has is half thoughts, half truths, and not nearly enough answers. Gaze drifts towards the bottom of the page, towards the empty space where your name should go, except you don't know what to put there now. Don't know if they'd recognize the name Twig. Don't anyone know the name's No. You can't even guarantee they'll recognize your handwriting because you don't know if this is your handwriting. Carefully placing the quill back into the inkwell, you lean back in the chair and rub your face. Faint chirping draws your attention towards the window. Two birds sit upon the sill. Don't remember seeing them arrive. One is dark as fresh soil after rain. Hints of what looks like green in their feathers. The other is a pale pink. The under part of their wing, a softer, more forest green. Both stare at you, no pecking at the glass or preening, not even moving, they're just watching. You stare back, tilting your head. One bird blinks, the other tilting its head to mirror your gesture. It feels like they're waiting for something from you. For a second, you consider shooing them way beside against it. Instead, you leave them be, rubbing your face. The birds remain where they are. The letter remained on the desk, and the tea off to the side. Faint whispers of steam curling from the cup. The leather won't be happening right now. You might as well go find Casimir in the kitchen to see what he's making. Still one glance at the birds. Neither of them has moved, still watching you. Huh? Thought comes and goes. You decide not to dwell on it for too long. After all, one forget at a time. Get up and grab the teacup and step out of your room in search of the kitchen. End of demo. Ah. Okay, save. Oh my god, I can't even quit. Quit. There we go. Alright. I'm gonna take a little break. But I'll be right back. Alright. Yeah. Hello, I am back. Sorry about that. Alright. I have yonder, I think. Do I need to go restroom? Hopefully not. After this stream, I'll try to find more visual novels. It's gonna be hard, but I'll try my best. It's like 100 degrees outside. Alright. This one is called Oh Sweet Fate. Here we go. There we go. Open. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is Yandere, I think. Okay. Start. How did it come to this? You broke up with your ex weeks ago. You caught him cheating. You saw the flirty exchanges on his phone. He was mad that you broke up with him. But you thought his outburst would only last a week, and then he would leave you be. But now you're being questioned by an officer while your ex is in the back of the patrol car. The customers are whispering amongst themselves, giving you some pitiful looks, while the others are trying to get explanations from your manager. So, you're saying Mr. Daniel kept creating accounts just to stalk you whenever you blocked them? Yes. And after I started ignoring those advances, he'd been here non-stop for the past few days. I don't know how he found out where I worked. I never mentioned this place to him or any common acquaintances. Officer turned his eyebrows, his confusion as clear as a mirror, and no one thought of calling us on a non-emergency number after he showed up the second time and was told to leave. I tried calling once, but my manager said that as long as he bought something, I wasn't the one serving him. She wouldn't kick him out. I mean, would you have done anything if I had called? He wasn't doing anything illegal or being loud. He was just sitting there watching me. It's like, of course, y'all would have done nothing. Y'all tend to do nothing. So, the officer's hand hasn't. Hold on. I am back. Sorry about that. That's true. I don't think we could have done anything except ask him to leave, since he wasn't being disorderly. Say, what's your name again? Just make sure I don't make any mistakes when I'm making the paperwork and stuff. Snow. Him. Alright. She helped me understand what happened here. Okay. You hum an agreement as you start narrating tonight's events. You thought this would be an uneventful working day like any other. Some annoying clients here and there, the occasional returning of customers, like leaving you tips for you and Bianca, the hostess, up front. At this point, you've already gotten used to avoiding the table Daniel chose to watch you from, since he's the type that avoids tainting his public image. That made things easier for you, even if it was still uncomfortable. Today, something changed drastically. Daniel seemed easily irritatable. If so much as breathed near a male customer, he'd shift on his seat. Well, he was already a bit off earlier today, but he didn't notice it at first. He tried to warn his manager. Miss Pierce said that something was off. It was like talking to a brick wall. Hell, the brick wall would have listened to you more than she did. When you want on break, you beeline to the kitchen to gossip with the chef. There's usually less customers at night, and you already served everyone. The chef, the chef and Bianca were your only co-workers in this place, besides Mrs. Pierre herself. She usually is the one that takes as your ex's orders. Seriously, she couldn't be bothered to hire anyone else to help with the workload. Barely a minute passed and you heard some commotion outside and rushed steps towards the kitchen. You didn't have time to think before Daniel pushed the door open and started causing a ruckus. Kept pacing around, pointing fingers at you while repeating that you were the one who promised to stay loyal, and you broke that promise. He didn't just imply, he yelled in your face that you've been hooking up with a chef during breaks. The reason of the breakup was your own projection of your actions. Yeah, definitely not because he was sending suggested pictures to someone or messaging talking about crap about you. No, definitely not. You were already expecting him to come at you. To either hurt or beg you to let him explain his version of events. But you weren't expecting him to swipe a knife from the counter and lunge towards Chef without explanation. Luckily, he's also a gym rat. Mr. Rossi tackled your ex to the ground just as quickly as he grabbed the knife. Didn't waste a single second after that, fetching your phone from the counter and calling the police. That's pretty much it. Mr. Rossi kept his knee on Daniel's back until you got here. Damn. The officer sighs, pushing his glasses to pinch his nose bridge. He definitely wasn't prepared for this situation to be as dramatic as a child's temper tantrum gone wrong. To be fair, you couldn't blame him. Having to put up with a deputy's son in cuffs just because he couldn't accept that his ex had a male co-worker was definitely not on his bucket list. Jesus Christ. Oh, okay, clearly no condition to be near you, so you could come down the station ladder. I can help you get started on a restraining order. That would make things a lot easier for me. Thank you, officer. He gives you a soft nod before walking away. Probably to ask Mr. Rossi if he wants to press charges. Find yourself staring at the patrol car. Your eyes land on the slumped figure of your ex. Daniel looks defeated, eyes dull and lifeless, tears slowly pouring down his cheeks. He doesn't look remotely similar to the maniac that just tried to stab someone. Can't but feel awful. Not for him, no. The post-breakup sadness had long since faded. You were angry because you knew that if the chef wanted to press charges against him, all he had to do was make the jail time go away, was call his father. Although, as spoiled as this man was by his dad, never seen him cry. Not a single drop it during your entire relationship. After Mr. Rossi tackled him, Daniel cried like a child, like genuinely fond, ugly sobbing. He's never acted like that. It was a shock to see him in this state. Even now, you can see him muttering something over and over again as the tears keep pouring like a leaking faucet. Using the knowledge you have in lip reading, catch the faint words he keeps repeating. Is your name. If only you weren't a fucking bitch and cheating. Look away before he has a chance to meet your eyes. Last thing you need right now is to feel whatever delusions he still has about your relationship, or what remains of it in his mind. Snow! Damn, you're really gonna hear people yelling your name all day, aren't you? Don't even need to look in the direction the screech came from to know it was your manager. Ugh, damn. Wow. Damn. Oh, wow. Sorry, that's just a lot. You feel her gripping your wrist as soon as she reached you, her eyes burning on your face with what you can describe as seething embarrassment. With the way she's speaking through gritted teeth, you know she couldn't yell any further. Since the customers were staring, she probably wanted nothing more than shake you by the shoulders or worse. What the hell was that all about? I warned you, Mrs. Beer. I told you looked off earlier. Yes, but you never told me he was crazy enough to jump my only cook. What did he do without a shut down? Oh yes, worrying about the money as usual. What? Mrs. Pierce closes her eyes, taking a deep breath before crossing her arms. Listen, I can't have a repeat of this situation in my restaurant. Oh, thank goodness she's finally listening to reason. Surely she'll trespass him now after that scare. If you want to file a trespass, the operator just went to speak with the chef. Hey, hand over your apron, you're fired. What? Sorry, what? You heard me, Snow. Even if I do trespass him, nothing stops him from filing the order or something worse than that. So I'm firing you. You can't do that. I'm a victim in this too. You can't fire me for something that wasn't my fault. He's only here because you're here. I won't have to worry because my only cook stabbed mid-shift if you leave. I'd rather hire another waiter than rebuild my restaurant from whatever catastrophe that lunatic might cause. So hand me your apron and get your things. I'll wait out of the door at half an hour. Fucking bitch. Can't believe this. Whisper to yourself. As much as you want to yell at her, you know you need to be the bigger person this time. Damn. Sorry. This is a stressful thing, so I'm skim reading. You walk all the way back to the break room, shuffling through the stuff before fishing out your own bag. This has to be legal in some way, yeah. It most likely is illegal to do that. It's a long thing. Not only you had to deal with your manager's unreasonable and unjustified decision, but you had to go all the way to the station. But hey, at least you got your emergency restraining order. Your acquaintances won't have to worry about you being stabbed while near you. At least as long as Daniel's behind bars, which probably means only a few weeks. Yay. Because his father is a piece of shit that raised an asshole. Come on, give me a break. Rewind. Tearing off the paper without a second glance is probably one of those stupid flyers. Breeze made complaint. Words dying your throat as he scanned the words scribbled in black Sharpie. What the fuck is going on? In fiction notice? No. I'll shake a laugh, blinking rapidly in hopes that you were hallucinating, hoping that the words would just magically change at some point. This can't be happening, right? Like, goddamn. Whoever God exists just fucking hates us, punishing us for existing. Which, honestly, that's what God does to me. Anyway. This can't be right. You just talked to the landlord today. He gave you another month. I had to go out back on his word and kick you out without warning. You rest your back against the door, clutching your chest. You try to calm yourself down. Please know you need to breathe. You only managed to snap out of your panic when you realized the noise of the elevator's doors opening down the hall. Before anyone could see the pitiful state you were in, you rushed inside your apartment. As soon as the front door closes, you lock it with a tired sigh before dragging yourself to the door and flopping down onto the bed without a second's thought. Great, just great. You lost your job, dignity, and home in a span of, what, 4 hours? You raise the paper to eye level once more, reading it more carefully. You have 2 weeks to find a new place. What kind of short notice is this? Keep grumbling under your breath, your reality silently pressing down on you. This is a nightmare, it has to be. The pillow filling your eyes water up quickly. At this point, only a miracle would be able to get you out of this situation, huh? Could be messaging at this hour. Oh, right. Forgot I haven't texted Kyra yet. Right? You didn't talk to me all day. You didn't even text me when you were on break. Thought you were ignoring me. You didn't post any doodles to your profile either. Oh, I accidentally fucked up. Oh my god, okay. Hold on. Need to go back to where we were. I feel like crap, Kiki. Daniel stabbed the chef, and somehow I got fired for it. What? Daniel has in your ex? Did he hurt you? Is the chef okay? How did he manage to get the knife? Kyra, why did you get fired? Girl, let me talk. Sorry, I'm just so mad at him. There's no business following you around like a creep. Well, at least he didn't do much, except for getting me fired and probably giving Mrs. Peer another headache or two. Anyway, just found I got evicted too. Oh, it's not. Oh dear. Yeah. I have 2 weeks to scram and find another place. I don't even know where I should go. No landlord would approve of an unemployed tenant. I thought of applying for financial aid, but I can't without an address, so yikes. Did you have friends nearby they can ask to stay a few weeks? Nope. I moved states to live near Daniel, remember? Oh, right. Don't move. But you're still so young, the more you know, right? I don't need you judging 18-year-old me. I'm not judging, I'm stating the fact that it was stupid. Can you cover something cheaper with what you're making on the internet? Having clothes is only enough for a week's groceries most times. You know, I'm not that famous. Have you heard of South Angelica County? Sounds like some kind of sour candy. Someone really name a town like that? Well, then I take that as a no. It's a smaller town closer to the current one. So not just a few hours ago that someone was looking for a roommate around those parts. You could move there and share rent. That sounds actually nice, but I don't know what I should expect from that place. I mean, it's not like it could end up worse than ending up in a city full of rich snobs, right? Oh no, every citizen there is rich. I'm not sure about the snob part though. You're kidding me, right? I'm not paying rent in a place that I'm sure breakfast is more expensive than the average worker's monthly wage. What if I said I'd help you pay? Just until you get your own job. Can't be serious right now. Kyra, I can't let you do that. It's too much. Nonsense. You know I was waiting for the opportunity to shower you with money. Besides, you kept returning every single wire transfer I made to you. It's time to let me bring you something into this friendship. If it makes the decision any easier for you, consider this a loan. You can pay me back later when you get hired again. Kiki. I'll be nearby too, so we could hang out when we find the time. Please, with the cherry on top. I promise you'll like the city. Empty. Save. I can't save. Oh wait, no, this is auto. Alright, I'll accept it. Oh, God. Sorry, I'm stretching. Are you sure of what you're offering, Kyra? I'm only wasting money on me, but I don't know if I'll find a proper job. Never been more sure. Unless you come to live with me and share my bed. Alone it is. Oh, fine. You're no fun, Pookie. And you're unhinged. Seriously. Thank you, Kiki. I don't even know how to thank you for such a thing. You can start thinking where you're going to pack your bags with. I assume you don't have any backpacks lying around, do you? I only have one, but I don't think it's enough for everything I have. Gotcha. Tomorrow you're going to buy some proper suitcases. I'll send you the money. Oh, and don't forget to buy dinner. Knowing you forgot to eat after getting that eviction notice. You know me a little too well. BFFs for a reason. I know I'm probably being repetitive, but really, thank you. I promise as soon as I get a job, I'll start paying rent myself and pay you back. Don't mention it, sugar. I'll always be there for you. Damn. So like, fuck it. Asshole manager. Ugh. Oh, sorry. Ugh, God damn. Sorry, I'm stretching a lot. The shaky breath escapes your lips as you keep talking to Kyra. This feels like a blessing in disguise. To think you have a friend who's really ready to spend so much money on you just to keep a roof over your head, and yet a small part of you feels like this could go south. Now, Kyra's your best friend. She wouldn't do anything to harm you. You shake your head, dispersing any lingering doubts and concerns before you went back to texting her. Maybe you're just feeling uneasy because it'll be a new town, a place you've never been to. Yeah, that's what it is. You get better once you meet new people. For now, all you have to do is worry about where South Angelica County is, and what to expect, and what to order for dinner tonight. It's be the longest 2 weeks of your life. You must be going crazy. You whisper to yourself, holding your head in your hands with a small sigh. You should know better than anyone that it's crazy to move just because someone told you they could help you. And here you are, moving to a city you didn't know existed a week ago. It's too late to turn back now, even if you wanted to. You stare out the window as the train sways gently, watching the scenery gradually change from the familiar concrete towers to calm, verdant fields. Besides the usual discomfort of being in economy, it's a good thing you snatched a window seat. That way you can relax and do some reading on your phone. You hum quietly as you put your earbuds in. Fully intending on putting some lo-fi while reading. It's relaxing. It could help you unwind a bit before meeting that mysterious new roommate of yours. While reaching for your phone in your pocket, you pause. On second thought, that wouldn't be the brightest decision. You might get motion sickness. Honestly, one thing, like, I know is, like, I've, like, tried to go on, like, long car rides on, like, empty stomachs, going on my phone, and just feeling the need to throw up. sigh as you rest against your seat. It'll be long to get there. And you remember correctly, this app said that the train ride would only take an hour. Pulled away your thumb or thought as someone touched your shoulder. Hey, is the seat taken? No, it's not. You can sit if you want. Man smiles before sitting down next to you, letting out a sigh of relief as he rests against the soft cushions of the seat. Thanks, it's been a nightmare to get my ticket punched. Oh, you mean because the ticket guy got delayed? Yeah, you saw that line earlier, it's right. It's outrageous that they only have one collector for the entire train. It's a nightmare. You have places to be, you know. Next, that must have been tough. Oh, God. You laugh awkwardly as the guy keeps chattering away, and your mind goes to the image of a chaotic queue. People yelling and waving the tickets around would make a collector magically drop from the sky. Of course, you were lucky to get early. Meaning your anxiety would made you get to the station 2 hours before departure, which means you got first place in line. There's an awkward silence for a moment before the man opens his mouth once more. So, first time going to South Angelica? Yeah. Figured as much. You don't look like someone that's ever been there. Ouch, are you underdressed? Did your hair get disheveled with a gust of wind earlier? As soon as he checked out your outfit again, lets out an awkward laugh as he soothed down your hair. What I meant is, you probably don't know much about it, do you? It's a pretty closed community. Oh, he's not wrong. The only thing I found out about it on the net was a small web page made by the mayor himself. Not really, man. Friend asked me to visit. Oh, I see. Well, let me give you some advice. Avoid informalities with strangers. I know it's a given, but you could be talking to a chairman or something. Are they actually serious about that? The guy shrugs and sighs. Judging how he keeps pushing his hair back, he probably has to deal with that and more. It's a way to avoid gossiping about someone right next to you, you know. Picture in your head, he must have been talking shit about someone that was sitting next to him, and he didn't know any better. At the same time, it's a horrifying thought to be in. If you find yourself holding back a laugh, trust me, you get used to it after a few times. Just be polite and you're good to go. And one last thing, don't trust anyone. Not even that friend of yours. That's not terrifying at all. You freeze as his voice takes on a gentler, urgent tone. That town is a pit of snakes. Only a handful could be considered harmless. But most of them here are seasoned liars. Is that fucking fireworks? It's like 6:50. No one can fucking see your fireworks, man. Ugh. Oh my god. You know that thing, like, what Google does and pushes, like, forces news things and stuff on you? I guess it knows I play visual novels, so it's saying, showing a thing of cyber paranoia. I still haven't finished the game. Basically a visual novel. It knows I like visual novels a lot. Anyway, stare at the older man, trying to discern why he's messing with you, but the furrow of his brow is telling you he's being genuine. If you're not careful enough, you'll be the pawn and a board before you notice it. If that does end up happening, it's either you shut up and pretend you don't know a thing, or they'll make sure you can't open your mouth again. Just keep an eye on that friend, alright? They start friendly, only to corner you into staying or leaving in a casket. I'm saying that for your own safety. What does he mean by that, and how dare he judge Kyra without knowing her at all? Before he can argue with him, the train came to a stop, and the train crew member appeared with a smile. Dear passengers, we've arrived at our final destination. Don't forget to take your luggage with you when you disembark the train. Well, that was my cue to leave. I gotta get to work before my boss hunts me down. Both let an awkward laugh as he smooths down his suit and tie. He nods politely at you before unboarding the train. After long gone, you get up and stretch your sore limbs. What a weird guy, but it seems like he genuinely wanted to help you, so decent interaction? You reach for your suitcase under your seat and pull them out with great effort. Geez, how much did you pack? No, so exactly. Then you remember the only reason you were able to carry them aboard was because you were helped by a kind crew member. Grunt as you lift yourself back up, looking around to spot another crew member that could help unboard your luggage or at least get a cart. Need you help, mister? Hey! Hey! Alright. You turn towards the voice you just heard, your gaze falling on the man that's now in front of you. He looks good, maybe a little too good. He could easily be a model with those looks and heights. You had to raise your head just a little to look him in the eyes. Mister, are you okay? I'm alright. Sorry, You smile uncomfortably as you dart your eyes from his figure, your cheeks heating up quickly from embarrassment. The man chuckles, clearly amused by your flustered reaction. There's no need to apologize, I was the one who pushed you out nowhere. Then again, it looked like you needed help with all those bags. It'd be rude if I didn't offer to help out. I'm sure you have more important things to do than helping a random stranger. I do have matters to attend to, but they're not that urgent. My sister can wait a few minutes before I go see her. May I help you get to the cab? At least I don't feel comfortable leaving here like this, mister. Alright. Sure. Guys, sure. My arm! It's too heavy! Although the last thing you ever wanted was to bother a stranger with this, those bags are pretty heavy for you to lift by yourself. I'm sorry, I'm just, admiring. Anyway, best case scenario, you're stuck until a crew member notices you. Worst case scenario, you're stuck until a crew member notices you. Looks like a good guy. It won't hurt to ask him for help. Right? I don't know, I feel worried that it's not gonna be good and he'll... I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's bad will happen. I don't know what will happen. Alright. He looks like a good guy. It won't hurt to ask for some help, right? I guess I really do need a hand with these. So I do want to save and kind of come back later, because goddamn, I am tired. Alright, I'll be right back. Yeah, I'll be right back. I'll see you later. Have a good one. I'll see you on the flip side.